Your college football AP Top 25 Week 8 and the coaches poll is now out. Let's dive into it. In the AP Top 25, Georgia, Michigan, Ohio State, Florida State stay your top 4. Nothing changed. Same for the coaches poll. Top 4 stay the same. With Washington's win over Oregon on that last second kick that was missed by Oregon to tie the game to send overtime, they moved up 2 in the AP poll to be number 5. And in the coaches poll, they moved up 1 to be number 5. With Washington moving up in the coaches poll, that meant Penn State moved down 1. In the AP Top 25 poll, that means that Oklahoma moved down 1. Surrounding out your top 10, number 6 in the AP poll is Oklahoma, Penn State, Texas, Oregon, North Carolina. In the coaches poll, you have Penn State, Oklahoma, Texas, Alabama, North Carolina. Interesting to see here, 1 vote for Oklahoma, meaning someone voted for them to be at number 1. At number 7, is this somebody from Oklahoma who may be a bit biased? Maybe someone from the region. Who knows? But Georgia has 58 first place votes in the coaches poll. Coaches see them as a clear-cut number 1. In the AP Top 25 poll, Georgia has 43 votes. Last week, they had 50 votes. So Michigan took a couple votes. Washington took a couple votes from them. And that's how they got to 43. Oregon only dropped 1 with the loss. They played really well. They proved to be in the top 10. I totally agree with that. Here in the coaches poll, Oregon's dropped 3. With that type of loss, I think 3 is a big drop. Not the most proud of that one. I think they should have stayed in the top 10. North Carolina, normally powerhouse in basketball, of course. MJ's alma mater has won recently the NCAA basketball championship. Number 10 in football. You may be surprised by that, but they're playing good. They're ahead of Alabama in AP Top 25. Surrounding out the rest of the AP Top 25, you have Oregon State moved up 3. Ole Miss, Utah moved up 2. Notre Dame crushed USC. That moved them up 6. Good for them. They lost Louisville and game. They lost just close to Ohio State. So, they're top 15, and they proved it. They were like 21st in the poll. USC was around top 10, and they were still the favorites as the lower team, and it proved why at home. Duke moved up 1. Tennessee moved up 2. USC moved down 8 from 10 to 18. LSU 3. Missouri moves into the rankings. Louisville moves down 7 after their loss after beating Notre Dame last week. They lost pretty disappointingly this week. And then the first time in the poll in years, Air Force at 6-0. Looking like the best military school right now. Go Air Force. Tulane's in the poll after not being there last week, same as Iowa. And UCLA with their loss moves down 7 to round out the top 25. Other schools receiving votes, James Madison, Clemson, Florida, Washington State. Washington State dropped out of the rankings with their loss. Kansas dropped out, Kentucky dropped out, and Miami dropped out. When we look at the coaches poll, very similar types of teams in here. Air Force is ranked at 22 there as well. Good for them. USC dropped 7 versus 8. So you can see they were the big losers in both polls. Louisville, pretty big loser too. Other teams receiving votes. So as we're getting now to a little bit past the midpoint of the season, the teams who are undefeated still around the top 10. If you have one loss against a good team, then you're right there, such as Texas losing to Oklahoma, Oregon losing to Washington, Alabama losing to Texas. All around right there. Things are starting to shake themselves out, but the teams you expect to be there at the beginning of the season, Georgia, Michigan, Ohio State, are still rounding out your top 3. Okay? Come back here next week and we'll do the same thing as we've done every week of the season, showing you the coaches poll. Of course, on the Gridiron Roundup, we have everything for you. Click that link right there, and we'll show you the full breakdown from college football week 7.